Hi everyone, welcome back to Procrasti-Knitter podcast. My name is Jane and today we'll talk about things that I have been knitting and crafting on. Today's podcast might be a little bit sporadic. I am packing for a big trip, so I am just pulling things as I see them and not necessarily in a great order, although I might edit it together for you. Okay, to start off, I wanted to say thank you so much for 300 subscribers. That's very awesome. It looks like everyone found my sock knitting video, which is great. But I filmed that like a year and a half ago, so has changed. So I think at the end of summer, I'm gonna film something that is like an updated how I knit socks kind of video. But for now, thank you for subscribing and sticking around, and let's just get started. On my trip, I'm planning on taking 2 projects with me, and they will be 2 new projects, 2 new sock projects. So the first is this beautiful yarn, and it is Manos yarn, their sock base, which is called Allegria, I think is how you say it. But yeah, lots of blues, very pretty. And then my second sock yarn project is this Ball, and yeah, got this at Looped. Well, William's mom got it for me at Looped, and I'm very excited. Yeah, I thought socks would be portable, and I think knitting on 2 pairs is a doable amount for, I'm going to Europe, so for the long flights and traveling in between places, I feel like 2 socks should be good. Yeah, what else? Yeah, 2 pairs. So I think this should be good for 3 weeks. And small and portable, because I know I have lots of other projects I could be working on, but that's okay. Something I could show. Is there anything else I could show right now? Well, in front of me I have these 2 yarns, which last episode I believe I talked about wanting to do felted coasters or fulling yarn to make coasters, and that has been semi-successful. I did not end up gifting it because I wasn't super happy with it, but I think, and I don't know if it's like, I guess I would make it again if I had like more scrap yarn, but it's just, I'm not craving it. But if I did want to work through this stash, I think doing a coaster project is pretty simple. So yeah. Okay, the coasters I knit with my Chow 5-inch interchangeable tips. I just put an end stopper to the end and knit across with these because the swatch is pretty small. And I knit this yarn, which is bulky weights. We Are Knitters, the petite wool, I believe. And so I knit these with size 7 needles, which are 4.5 millimeter, in case you were curious about the gauge, I guess. You saw this last time. I think I put it through the washer one more time, and I don't remember last time if I showed you it cut or not, but I did trim this a bit to make it look more square. And after putting it through the laundry, it kind of had this like crease in it, kind of like that, just because of the way it was like being dried, I think, and it kind of stuck itself to that position. So I went ahead and ironed it, and I was hoping that would also like felt it up a little more, but I do not think that was the case. But you know, I mean, it's pretty fuzzy, like nothing's gonna come undone, but it's not like as like, you can still kind of see this. But I also wonder if it's because it's because it's garter stitch instead of stockinette. But yeah, so that is this coaster. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable gifting this. I just don't think it's super neat, and the striping didn't work out the way I thought it would. Probably because it's stockinette, or not stockinette. So I'm just keeping this for personal use. And then I did another little gauge swatch, just solid this time. And this has only been through the wash and dry maybe twice, 3 times at most. And all of these I just tossed in every time I did laundry or my family did laundry. So there was definitely stuff that was like rubbing up against for friction and whatnot, but we do not use like hot water, which is what I think you're supposed to use. But I mean, we do use like warm closer to hot water. Like I think I said this last time, but the temperature is on a 5-point scale, I guess, from cold to hot, and we do it on 4, so closer to hot than to warm even. But again, you can really still see a lot, not a lot, but some of the stitch definition. It used to be a square and now it has shrunk into more of a rectangular shape. I did knit this stockinette, so I don't know. I think when I have time, I'll like definitely play with this a little more. This also had a crease that I ironed out. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe even just a couple more passes through the washing machine, it'd be a little bit more of what I wanted, and I do think stockinette is the way to go. The edge stitches you can kind of really see, but I wonder if that would go away once it's a little more felted. I wonder if I could also start hand felting this, like with, you know, the stabby things, if that would work. Hand fulling, I don't really know. But this is what it looks like so far. So yeah, it's just something for me to keep in mind for the future in terms of what it needs to look like in order for it to come out a square. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with this. I mean, it's definitely functional as a coaster, and I've been using them as coasters, so I do not mind. But just an update, I suppose. Okay, and my first and only finished object are these. Finally, they've been washed and blocked. I should probably update that on Ravelry, but here they are. These are my birdstreet yarn socks. This is about how much yarn I have left. I finished those pair of socks. This is about how much yarn I have left. I didn't weigh it, so I'm not sure, but you know, this is a good bit left. I feel like at least 20 grams or something of yarn. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah. A work in progress. Oh my gosh. Is this? These are my striped socks. As you can tell, I'm like going from 5 rounds to, or 6 rounds to 5 rounds to 4 rounds to 3 rounds to 2 rounds, but my rate, I kind of messed up the rate. It's not looking exactly how I want, but I think with my second sock, I'm gonna be a little more careful. But I am liking how this 3x1 ribbing looks. This is where I was last time, so I've made it past the heel flap. I'm honestly almost done with it, but not quite. And unfortunately, it's just a little bit too much to bring to Europe with me. I don't want to have to carry around 2 balls at all times. So that is that. But otherwise, this has been fun, and I like how the colors work together. Okay, and while we're here, I thought maybe it might be fun to show you what I'm packing, like everything tools-wise that I'm packing for Europe. Okay, so because I'm only knitting socks, the tool case is actually quite small. This is a pencil pouch from Daiso. So the first thing I'll have is a tape measurer. Then I have my only set of DPNs. This is what I use for heels and toes for my socks. They're US size 1, 2.25 millimeter. And then I have my 9-inch sock needles from Xiaogu, also size 1, 2.25 millimeters. I have a pair of scissors that collapse like that. I'm gonna bring a what is this? Needle? Just a small blunt one. And I tied a little piece of scrap yarn around it so I don't lose it in this bag. And I'm gonna bring a few stitch markers. A couple progress keepers. I thought maybe that'd be nice to show you if I decide to vlog at all or do anything over there. So that's it. That's everything that's going to be in my knitting bag. I don't think I will have any problems going through security, but I guess we'll see, knock on wood. And that's it, and my 2 yarns that I showed earlier, and that is my knitting bag for Europe. Okay everyone, greetings from, what city were you in, Zurich? Yes. Zurich, Switzerland. And yeah, you're right in front of the hotel window. Let's have a look-see outside. Sunset, so it's very beautiful. One thing is the hotel doesn't have AC, so we are suffering a little bit, but that's okay. I didn't get to edit my podcast before now, so I thought, why don't I just include some yarn that I've gotten in Europe so far as part of my acquisitions, because I don't think I had any acquisitions when I filmed at home. Right now we're in Zurich. If you don't know, my family and I are in Europe for the next 2 weeks or so, and we're doing a tour. So we are hitting very many cities, sometimes 2 or 3 cities a day. So it is a little bit overwhelming, but I have fortunately been able to visit a handful of yarn shops. So I'm excited to share what I got at the yarn store with you. I did not research beforehand where to go, etc. because of the nature of the tour. When we got dropped off from the bus, I would kind of look up if there were any nearby, and then one I stumbled upon just serendipitously, so that was exciting. Okay, so the first one is something that I got at Lila Bella in Venice. This is their card. They're on the Venice island, like the main one, I think. And yeah, it's very close to Piazza San Marco. So if you know what that means. They have a website as well. It was a very small shop and a very luxury style shop. And I did get a couple things that were a bit fancy, shall we say. So the first thing that I got is actually this. So this is a 100 gram skein of yarn. It's mixed yarn, so yeah, I don't know, lots of different kinds, and it just looked really fun and pretty. It is made especially for the store. I think the yarn was maybe made in Turkey, maybe that's what that means. It is Feza yarns, exclusive for this store, Lila Bella, and the name of the yarn is Alp Premier. Alp Premier. So that's from Venice, from Lila Bella. And the second thing I got, this is kind of crazy, 50-gram hank. I mean, it's really just, I don't even know what to call this because it is simply, it wasn't twisted into anything, it's just this. But it is 100% cashmere. And it is really soft. So, what do I say? Yeah, it just says soft cashmere exclusive for Lila Bella, but supposedly, you guys, supposedly, this is sourced from the same manufacturer, the same mill, the same processing plant that provides a lot of the cashmere for the luxury designer brands in Italy. Do you believe that? I don't know. Do I believe that? I don't know, but I did pay a pretty penny for this. And it's 50 grams. I am planning on making hand warmers out of it. So they are going to be very fancy hand warmers, but yeah, I think that's what they'll be. Can't really imagine them as much else, but you know, you never know. You never know. Maybe I'll grow my cashmere selection and I'll make a nice like vest or something. It's possible. So that's this. So those were the two items I got from Lila Bella in Venezia. The next store that I was at was today, actually. I am drinking Valser, which is sparkling mineral water. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so today I stumbled upon this store. Today we went, okay, for context, today we went to beautiful Swiss Alps. We went to Grindelwald. And we were at the top of the mountain, and it was very pretty, and we went down, and it's a ski town, so yeah, I don't know, there are shops and stuff, and we're waiting for the bus. It's like 10 minutes before the bus is supposed to get there, and I see a sign across from where I'm waiting that says wool, and I'm like looking at the store window, and I see wool, like yarn. So I literally run over, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I like run inside. I see this lady like speed walking toward me, and she's like, hello. And I'm like, hello. She was a store owner, and she was probably just like, what is this crazy woman doing, like running into my store? And I was like, sorry, I was just so excited, I saw the wool. But yeah, it was very nice. I wish I got more time there, because I think I would have, I don't know, just appreciated it more, but I'm pretty happy with what I did get. So the store that I went to is called Finkies. Finkies? I don't know how to pronounce things. Her name is Irene, I believe. And it's in Grindelwald, as I said. She also sold lingerie and schmuck. I don't know what schmuck is, but there were some like sewing notions and things as well. It doesn't look like she has a website or anything, so if you're ever skiing in the Swiss Alps in Switzerland at Grindelwald, you can visit her shop. But it was very cute. There were a lot of samples. There was sock yarn, which I really appreciated. At the store in Venice, there was not any sock yarn, which is why I walked away with cashmere. Anyways, so this is what I got. This is Lang Yarns Continents Socks. Oh, and I guess this continent is America. North or south, I don't know. This is their Super Socks Color 4-ply Superwash Yarn Base, which is 75% virgin wool and 25% nylon. It was $11.90, like 11.90, 11,90 Swiss francs. So I paid around like maybe 15 US or something like that for them. Very pretty. I love the colors. It's very like foresty, and I feel like really matching with the scenery there. It's missing a lot of the blue, but the greens, like it was just like the Alps right now in the summer is just so green, so full of evergreens, but also grass and trees and wildflowers. I feel like this is really representative of that. So I was excited about that as well, but like even if it looked nothing like this, I'm very drawn to colorways like this. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So I've never used Lang yarns before. I know they're a very popular yarn company, and I know it's a more commercial and accessible, affordable and hardy yarn as well. So yeah, I'm excited that I get to knit with it. I don't know if this price is reasonable or not. Spoiler alert, I did go to another yarn store today in Switzerland, so I feel, and the price was the same as this, $11.90, so I don't think there was like an upsell or a markup for it being in a ski chalet, but you know, it's probably expensive because it's Switzerland. But yeah, so I'm very excited about this. Something I didn't know about Lang yarns is I noticed they have this QR code and trace your yarns. Trace your yarn. So I did the QR code and it told me the origin of this ball of wool, which I thought was really, really cool. I don't know if anyone else is familiar with this. You might be already very familiar, but I was not. I don't know, I just think it's very cool. Yeah, it's traceyouryarn.com, and then you put in like the item number and like the sock base and everything, and then they allow you to trace your yarn. So let me do this for you real quick. I did it already before, but I exited out. It has like a picture of the yarn and everything, so I know it's like correct. At least the colorway is correct. And it says that this yarn was made under the cooperative. The Cacique Mulatto Cooperative is the only cooperative in Chile that has been maintained since the agricultural reform. The cooperative is focused on the breeding of sheep that is associated with the production of meat and wool around the village of Laguna Blanca, Magallanes, maybe. But so that's cool that it's under that specific co-op. And then it also tells me that this wool came from Corriedale sheep. And yeah, they live on huge pastures around 1 acre or 1 hectare. Is that different than acre? I don't know. Every animal is available. They live in loose herds. It also tells me that this ball of wool was made from fleece that was sheared, sheep that were sheared in November of 2020. And it's telling me that each adult sheep produces up to 6 kilograms of raw wool per year. And the wool is pressed into bales and washed in Patagonia, and the wool fat is obtained, and the wool fat is used in the cosmetics industry. And then it gets combed and shipped to Europe. Oh wait, no, it's shipped to Europe and then it's combed in the Biella textile region of northern Italy. And then the fibers are prepared for spinning. And then it gets spun, extended, twisted, printed or dyed, and steamed and put into balls. The yarn is then wound in on the ball, packed and shipped to Rieden in Switzerland. So this ball came from Chile to northern Italy to Switzerland and now to me, and it will come back to California. So that is crazy. But I just thought that was very cool to kind of trace the life cycle of something like this. So yeah, and the shop owner was so nice. So I mean, I don't know how many of you are going to go to Switzerland, Grindelwald, but if you do, you should check out Finkies. I think it's Finkies. Okay, so the last acquisition I have to share with you is one that I got most recently in what city were we just in? In Lucerne. So I got it at Mein Hobby, Vonarburg. This is the address in Lucerne. It is priced at 14.90 francs, Swiss francs, and I paid in euros, so I ended up paying around 16 euro for it. This is the yarn. So this is another European yarn, European commercial yarn called Lana Grossa. I have also never worked with Lana Grossa yarn, made in Italy. And yeah, this is the yarn. It is hot pink. I usually, if you know me, you know this is a sock yarn. You know I usually don't go for solid colors. And yeah, so this might feel very strange, and it is. The reason I went with hot pink is I will show you, or maybe you've already seen so far in the episode, that I am knitting a pair of socks for a friend, and how to explain. For the past year or so, I've been a ceramics assistant, as you may have heard if you've been to the channel before, a ceramics assistant for a very lovely person named Karen, who is based in LA. And yeah, we're friends. I really like working with her. It's definitely one of my favorite jobs I've ever had, and it's just fun. Her partner is a film writer. I don't know what the correct word is, and yeah, so he works in like the filmmaking industry, and he worked large. He had a big, not like huge, but he played a part in the TV series, Apple TV series called Little America, which is each episode follows based on a true story of an American immigrant. And for summer school, we watched 2 episodes every Friday, one with morning class, one with afternoon class, and I asked Brian to do a Zoom call with the kids so that you can ask him questions about, you know, what it's like to work on a show like that, how do you kind of tell those stories, what it's like to work in Hollywood, in the filmmaking industry. So yeah, that was very nice of him, very kind of him to spend like 20-30 minutes with us. So as a gesture of gratitude, I'm knitting him a pair of socks, and also just for their company and them welcoming me into their home the past year. So I'm knitting him a pair of socks, which he knows about. And then I also decided to knit Karen, so my boss in ceramics, a pair as well. And she is in a hot pink era, supposedly. I mean, maybe this is dated now, maybe she's out of the hot pink era, but I think she'll appreciate it anyhow. Yeah, so hot pink. So this is why I have hot pink yarn. This is merino extra fine, 75% merino, virgin wool merino extra fine, 25% polyamide, machine washable. Made in Italy, as I said. So yeah, this is the yarn. I'm really excited to work with it. It feels very, very soft, and it's yeah, it's a 4-ply yarn, which is ideal for me. So I'm sure I'll have leftovers. Karen is a size 8.5-ish, according to Brian, and I am a size 7-ish. So I think I will have enough yarn to make something for myself as well, or just add to my stash. But with these, the issue is working with solid yarn. I fear I will become very bored. And I also feel like the final sock won't be as impressive to me if it's just vanilla. So I think I'm actually gonna knit these as ribbed socks, 3x1 to be specific. The issue then becomes it's not vanilla knitting, which is not ideal. I only brought 1 pair of sock circulars on this trip. I don't plan on buying another because I already have 3. Maybe I'll knit on DPNs. Okay, maybe that is a solution. But yeah, so I don't know. I'd like to just have a plain vanilla pair on the needles instead of a ribbed, but I guess we'll have to see. I do kind of want to get this started so that I can give both pairs to them. But obviously, selfishly, I also want to work on this. That's fun. And I want to work on my own sock that I brought just in case I didn't find any yarn stores and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not sure, but this is all the acquisitions so far. Tomorrow we are going to Paris, and it is going to be a long day of traveling in the bus. So I'm hoping that I will get a lot of knitting time. I'm actually almost done with Brian's socks, so I think I will be able to start on one of these, and I think it might be Karen's just because, yeah, which is also why I'm recording this instead of releasing things separately, because I wanted to show you what it looked like before as well. So that is that. These are my acquisitions so far. I love how colorful everything is, and I will show you my progress so far. The thing that I have been working on, I started this on this trip. On the very first plane are these socks for Brian. So the first is done, ends woven in and everything, just not cut off because I'll just wash and block and then cut off. But look at this. So this is Manos del Uruguay sock yarn. Alegria, I believe, is the base. And it was gifted to me, oh, the colorway is Swim. It was a gift from William's mom. I asked Brian what color family he wanted, and he said blue. And I told him beforehand it was going to be a bold thing. I don't know if he's expecting a solid sock or not, but he's not getting a solid sock, he's getting this. So yeah, I have the first one done. I finished this yesterday, and we are on like day 5 of the trip. And since then I have started the next sock, and today I got through the heel flap and picking up for the gusset. So we are well on our way. I am confident I can finish this tomorrow. So and I'm confident I'll have enough yarn. So that's that. I'm very, very happy with how it's turning out. I like this one a little bit more because, as you can tell, just the way that the yarn worked up, like it's kind of doing like an arrow chevron thingy there, and then it decided to stripe, and then it decided to be a longer stripe. I think it's just my tensioning, maybe, or maybe it's the dye job, I'm not sure. And then of course the heel flap and gusset messes everything up, and then it did bigger kind of different kind of pooling, and then it spiraled again, and then the toe. So it's a wild card, this one. But the second sock I'm much more happy with. I just really like the smaller stripes, and yeah, I just like that a little more. But obviously these are not for me, so who's to say? Yeah, I mean, I feel like it is the dye job. It doesn't really make sense otherwise. But who knows? I don't know. I'm not a dyer. In any case, I think it's very pretty, and I hope that Brian likes them. What I am realizing from this, though, is that my preferred yarn is something more similar to this, or this. A gradient, or striping, or patterning. I don't think I like speckle. I just think, like the last pair that I showed you, the speckling was just too much for me. I don't like it. Yeah, it's just too busy. And then even this, it looks, the hank is so beautiful. It's very soft. This yarn is very soft as well. And if I hadn't made these for Brian, I would have happily made them for myself and worn them. But it's just not my preferred, and I think that's okay. But I still enjoyed knitting them and seeing how things turned out. But yeah, I think like variegated, where it's like the patterning is much closer together, or a patterned yarn, self-patterned yarn, or a gradient or striping I like, but something like this is I'm less into it. It looks like I'm just less into it. So that's just what I'm learning about myself, which is nice because now even when I see very pretty yarn, I think I'm like beginning to have an understanding of how things will work up in the fabric of a sock. So that is very nice, and yeah. Something I forgot to mention about this store is it's a hobby store. It's like a Michael's or a craft store. So they had a lot of yarn, much more yarn than like a Michael's would in the US or a Joann's or whatever. And they had like paper crafts, they had paint, marker, they had stationery, they had fabric, a lot of like sewing stuff. So it was really big, nice, and pretty. I really recommend it if anyone is ever visiting Lucerne. So yeah, I definitely recommend the store, and because it's like a bigger, almost like big box store, I felt very comfortable like browsing everything because it wasn't like a tight space. I feel like in Venice I was like being watched, which was a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, so it was just a lot more comfortable. There was a lot more selection. There was yarn on sale that I was very tempted by, but I just didn't have a project in mind. I have very limited space as well, so I didn't get anything, but everything felt so soft. And now I know that like if I go home like to the US and I wanted to purchase European yarn, I'm like kind of like feeling out what feels nice, but they all feel nice. So yeah, I think they had a huge Lang yarns selection, and all of them felt so nice. So yeah, that might be something I look into in the future. But I think coming up, we're going to France next. I think I'll look for yarn stores, but I don't know if I'll get anything. In Amsterdam, I definitely think I will try to get some yarn, and in London, I think I'll try to get some yarn. But of course, it's always nice to go in and see. But yeah, I think that's all. Something else that is not knitting related, or yeah, yarn related, but crafty. Let's check out my haul. Okay, first, I mean, I love stamps. I love the idea of stamps. I want to make my own stamps. I just really love watching people do printmaking kind of things, but I've never tried it in a serious way or like a super intentional way. But regardless, I love stamping and printmaking and all of that. Then I saw this. I wish I had gotten this like before summer school, because that would have been so fun. But these are like all of your classic like teacher stamps. A+, scissors. I don't know, like, what would you even use that for? An apple, well done, smiley face, thumbs up, super. A little music note, pencil. Oh my gosh. It's just so great. Oh, and these two kids. I didn't see that, but it looks so cute. I'm like obsessed with it. So I got it. And then I also got this. I didn't realize that you needed to stick it onto a clear block, but I mean, yeah, it's okay. I think I can DIY it somehow. But yeah, super cute stamp set. Then I was like, while I'm at it, I might as well. So I got this, just alphabet wood stamps, serif alphabet lowercase. And then I got the same thing, serif alphabet uppercase. So cute. Oh my god. if I had like infinite room in my suitcase, I would like bring these to Europe and like, isn't that fun? Like, end of the day, I'm like journaling and I like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. Okay, it's just that it came over me at the craft store. And then lastly, I got some ink pads. So I have a brown ink pad, but I thought, you know what? These are so cute. And all the stamps I got mostly are like small, so I only need a little bit. So I decided to get this. That's the extent of my crafting adventures. I know this is a knitting podcast, but I'm a crafty person overall. You know what? I heard somebody say like procrastinating. No. Oh my gosh, that's even better. Okay, I was gonna say procrastinating, like procrastinating by crafting, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. I hadn't heard that. And a procrastinating. Should I change my username to procrastinating podcast? That is so fun. That is actually so fun. Procrastinating. Cause like procrastinating, but procrastinating. It's kind of a mouthful a little bit, but you know, language is just all made up anyways. So that's my little haul for the what I've been reading, watching, listening to section. We are joined by our very special guest, William in the flesh. William and I did one video. William's been on one other video on the channel before.
Yes, it was where we interviewed each other, but mostly I interviewed you because it's your channel. But it was very early.
Yeah.
So before you picked up all the steam you have today, Jane tells me she's famous. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'm glad that people are enjoying our videos. I also watch your videos, but I don't understand anything because while I am a knitter, I'm not quite as well versed in all the terminology or the culture.
What have we been watching, listening to, or reading?
We've been watching Rebels still, which, if you don't know, is a Star Wars animated series. We started off with the Clone Wars, which everyone loves, and it's amazing, and it is pretty good. As a Star Wars fan, I enjoy it a lot. I can see why non-Star Wars fans might not, you know.
No, I like it. I think it made me like Star Wars more. Yeah. Like Clone Wars and...
It's a good gateway.
And Rebels.
Yeah. Rebels, everyone says is not as good as Clone Wars, but so far I honestly have been enjoying it. I like Rebels, the animation style is different than Clone Wars. It's definitely lower budget animation style compared to some of the others, but it's fun. I watched Across the Spider-Verse recently, which is popping off. Very popular, but Jane has not seen it yet. But I liked it. I don't want to talk about it too much. Because people don't want to get spoilers.
I see.
We also saw the Flash movie.
Yeah, in theaters.
And...
I liked it.
I liked it too. We are hesitant about all the recasts happening in DC.
Yeah.
I thought Henry Cavill's a good Superman.
Wonder Woman's good.
Yeah, I thought Gal Gadot's great Wonder Woman. I even thought Ben Affleck was a fine Batman after watching the Snyder Cut of the Justice League and some other stuff. So it's kind of a bummer that everything's just getting thrown out the window. But we'll see what James Gunn does because we like his other superhero movies. So yes, what else have we been watching?
If you guys have TikTok, you should follow William on TikTok.
That's true.
Because, in case you haven't noticed, he's literally Spider-Man.
So I, bear a passing resemblance to Miles Morales Spider-Man from, especially the second movie when he's a little older.
No, from the first movie, I said literally 2 seconds into the first movie, I'm watching it with my family. I text William, dude, you look so much like Miles Morales. William's like, no, you're crazy. He didn't say that. But, you know, he just kept denying it. And then finally.
Yeah. So I went to a comic convention and I dressed as Spider-Man, Miles Morales. And I was in somebody else's TikTok and in the background of some of their videos. And people were it was right after the movie came out, so it was hyped up, and people were saying that I looked a lot like Spider-Man. So I made my own TikTok and I posted a couple videos. I also do parkour and free running, so it's like me flipping and jumping off walls and stuff with some other Spider-Man cosplayers from the convention. And people really liked it, so yeah, I have a TikTok now, and it's got some following, and people like it, so that's fun. I was never on TikTok because I don't understand it, and I still don't fully understand it yet, but my friends are trying to help me post because I don't really fully grasp how to do everything yet.
I think that's all we've been watching.
Yeah, we've been watching a lot of Rebels. We're on a Rebels kick. We haven't watched many movies lately. I haven't really got the chance. Even there's a lot out. Ooh. I want to see Transformers. I want to see Sisu. I want you to see Spider-Man. I want to see the Barbie movie.
So true. Well, what we have watched is the first episode of Secret Invasion. So that's what we have watched.
Thought it was fine. We're definitely gonna watch the rest of it. Obviously, I think it has the potential to be better than a lot of the other Marvel TV shows lately. Because I haven't been feeling all the Marvel TV shows, but they made.
Was there a single good one?
I liked Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight was good.
I liked Moon Knight. Loki was.
It was interesting. Yeah.
WandaVision was very interesting for the first couple episodes. Like that show was tense. Smoke alarm.
Anyways,
Jenna's reading Red Pyramid.
I finished Dune Messiah.
It's a big book?
No, it's a little book. Dune Messiah is really little.
That's the second one?
Yeah.
I don't know if I read Dune Messiah. I think I did. I don't remember.
It was okay. Spoiler, he dies in the end.
I mean, the books have been out for like...
Well, I don't know.
A long time, but now that they're making movies out of it, people probably actually will care. Came back from camping. That's why we were listening to Normal Gossip on.
Yeah. I think I'm going to edit the camping vlog and post on my
Knitting channel? Oh.
Vlog channel, if people want to check out the vlog channel.
Follow the vlog channel, because then you'll see more of this.
And follow the William channel, because then you'll definitely see more of
I'm not in my face that much. You'll see a lot of this. You'll see a lot of...
Let us escape.
You'll see a lot of this.
True.
I make things. And Jane makes things with me on there. She's very talented at making things besides knitting, but she's also very talented at knitting. So
we started whittling. Or wood carving. We don't know the technicalities.
Our little man army.
But yeah, I'm thinking like once I get good, I'll like make like little charms.
We went camping, for context, we went camping, found some sticks.
Okay, this
went
is...
at it with a pocket knife.
This is the first ever one we did. This one's... It's being blown out! This one's mine, this one's William's. This one's William's. They're little wizard men.
I can see it, yeah.
Anyways.
Intercut footage that we have that we took in lighting.
I was thinking once I get good at this, I can make it... Because the guy whose tutorial we watched did it on a pencil. So presumably you can make it pretty small. So I think it'd be cute little charms.
If you do it on a pencil, yeah, you make earrings or...
No, like little stitch markers.
Oh, that's good too. I was thinking, so I made some that are small enough where like... I feel like you could put this on a necklace, right? If you like drill a hole through it. I mean, I don't know why you'd want a little
like a vertical necklace.
A little old man necklace. Well, people have like shark's teeth necklaces and stuff. But yeah, this is one of the little old men I made.
This is another old man William made.
Oh yeah, he's got a little hat on, and his hat is like falling to the side. That one got a little toasted.
Toasted old man.
Creepy.
And then I
made a mushroom. I really like the mushroom.
I made this mushroom. It's very nice.
You can definitely do a mushroom out of a pencil. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it has these like little tendrils that are intentional, okay? And then this is my last little man.
I like the mustache.
Yeah, and then this is William's biggest man.
Yeah, that was the second one I made. Not my strongest.
Well, anyways, I think that's all we've been up to. So hopefully, basically I'll go to Europe and then I'm going to move in and I'm literally going to start school. And then I'm going to go visit William for his birthday. I'm excited to go to all the Bay Area yarn stores. I don't know if there's a lot or not. Okay, anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching and catching up with us. We appreciate having you here. Thank you, William, for being here. And I will catch you guys. Thank you again for over 300 subs. That's very, very crazy. That's very, very crazy.
Since when? Congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of your summer if I don't see you again very soon. By very soon, I mean in like
3 weeks.
In like 3 weeks, yeah.
Oh, make sure to watch the camping vlog and Jane's vlog channel. And that's it.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And William's channels and TikToks. Okay, bye!